Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि।
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna. Welcome you all for today's morning celebration of Rama Navami. I'm blessed to be here with all of you today. Of course, I came for a different purpose. I wasn't sure whether I'll be able to attend the celebrations at the temple, but fortunately I got to see the Abhishek and do the Abhishek and maybe share something with all of you. Although I wasn't prepared, when I came in the morning, I was told that can I give a class? So whatever I could briefly prepare, and I'm just planning to share with you all. So, Dashrath Maharaj, he had three wives, right? Kaushalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi. So these three wives, they represent three types of understanding. So if you consider Dashrath Maharaj like, he's the whole of Vedas, So the Vedas, they describe Jnana Marg, Bhakti Marg, and Karma. Basically three broad divisions, right? So these three wives, actually they represent three types of thinking. Kaushalya represents the Jnana Marg, philosophical way of thinking. And Sumitra, she represents Bhakti. Actually, but they always get others, right? And so one is just action oriented. You don't get, what others think. So, but this moment. So, the three wives, so, Kaushalya represents the Jnana Marg. So from the time she was married, she was ignored. So she was ignored and saw that this this three when Krishna would attack, he would Lord Krishna very anyone. Very very. So that's why he carried more than. But yeah, Kaushalya, she was not a favorite. No, she was not the most favorite. She was always ignored. What she would do then, take care of Gurukul, was technology students were there. So she would then put her over there. She would leave again. So The point is that, what others think of the. So what others, for these kind of people, what others think of, may not be, but they are more interested. Ignored by the become overpowered by the feelings or emotions or right? Take a different perspective, go higher, then you'll have a different vision. Not so difficult. I could have probably done it in a better way. Just like eagle. Eagle when it's attacked by crows, what does it do? It flies higher actually. It doesn't try to fight with the crows. It just flies higher. So similarly, when you actually go through difficulties in life, with Gautama says, don't just go through life, go through life. Grow means learn as you go through those difficult days. Learn something, not just face the difficulties and be put down by the troubles that come in the way. So, Kaushalya represents this aspect or philosophical aspect of thinking. The same thing, like another example is when you are flying in a plane. Right? At the ground level, you see all the buildings and small, like when you are in the flight, flying in the uh, at the airport. But when you fly higher, all the buildings, they look small, like matchboxes as you go higher. And after some time, they disappear actually. Right? So similarly, like in life also, when we are actually at the point of doing the things, we may actually lose control of it. So better actually is to take guidance at that stage. So that when you take guidance, you grow higher. So second thing is Sumitra, she was more emotionally connected. That represents the bhakti mark. So for her, emotions were important and to be taken care. And not just this, they care about the emotions of others, not about just their emotions. So when Lord Ram left, he said that he didn't meet Sumitra. He just left. He was to be coronated, in the morning, and then everyone was happy. But suddenly, Takaya suddenly, changes her plan. So suddenly, Lord Ram had to take a decision, to leave. So he didn't make a point to meet her. So actually, you can see, Lord Ram comes to know just in the morning, and then I think maybe like evening, he's out of the kingdom. The person who is supposed to be coronated, in the morning, the next day, or in the evening, he is in the forest. Right? So that's how the kings were actually in the previous ages. They're so detached. That's why they would be called as the Rajarshis. Although they were ruling the kingdom, but still they were sages sitting on the throne. Similarly, you see the example of Parikshit Maharaj. When he comes to know that he's cursed, it doesn't take much time for him, to leave everything. Just, he had 7 days. So he didn't want to lose even a minute of the time left. Just, handed over the things to his son Janmejay, was already trained. And then just with just a coupon, he leaves. So such was the renunciation that these kings demonstrate. Even Yudhishthira Maharaj also, when they come to know that on Yudhishthira Maharaj and all the Pandavas that Krishna has left, right? So they were actually living to fulfill the order of Lord Krishna, but when Krishna himself left, so they felt it is the time for us to also leave. So they just leave, hand over the things to just coordinate their grandson Parikshit Maharaj with this leave. And then he doesn't even look, whether his other brothers are coming or not. And then he just leaves. But they all follow him. So such was the kind of renunciation that these kings had. Nowadays you see, the politicians so attached to their positions. Not just them, they don't want to live, but they want to ensure that even their lineage also continues in the same position. Right? So yeah. So Sumitra represents this aspect. So she didn't, when Lord Ram actually left, without telling her, she didn't feel bad. She said that she understood the emotions of the Lord. She knows that the Lord loves her, and then she didn't feel anything bad about it. So many times, we see when we deal with people, many times we try to, there's always a fight between the intentions and the actions. We try to judge others by their actions, what they do, and externally what we see externally. Someone is doing good, we appreciate them. Someone is doing bad, we feel bad. But what their intention might be behind the scenes, that we normally don't look at. We just try to go by judge the people by their actions. But when it comes to us, we try to judge by our intention. Like, my intention was so and so. Even though externally I might have done something bad, but we try to justify ourselves, our actions by our intention. In Christianity, they say, Jesus says, judge not, otherwise you will be judged. Right? So this tendency of being judgmental about others' actions, it's not that intentions or actions. At least in devotee circle, it's both are important, right? Because we try to set an example for others. Not just our intention should be good, but our external action should also reflect our internal psychology, right? So, so mentality here is an hand, is that coming to the example of Sumitra, that they try to find a way out. They're not just if there is any obstacle, they try to move around and just be clear about their goal. Just like you see ants, to put any obstacle in their way, they just try to find a way around and then go towards their object. Right? So they focus. These kinds of people, they mostly focus on relationships, heart-to-heart relationships. So Sumitra, she understood the heart of Lord Ram, and then she didn't take any she didn't feel anything bad, when she was not informed about it. So it is said that when Lakshman, he was on the verge of death, as the fight was going on. So Lord Ram felt that, Sumitra, his mother should be informed about it. So Lord Ram was, he knows the emotions how to deal with, other people. So he sent, Hanumanji, because he's the best person to communicate. So when Hanumanji was sent, and then he meets Sumitra and then tells her that, it may happen that, Lakshman may not live. He's just struggling for his life. So Sumitra, she says that, interestingly, tell Lord Ram that don't worry about it. Even if Lakshman dies, tell him that, I can send my elder son, Shatrugna, in his service. So that was the kind of feelings she had for Lord Ram. And she also understood that Lord Ram also reciprocates with her in the same way. So that's why she didn't feel bad when Lord Ram didn't need that. And on the other hand, when Kaikeyi was told that Lakshman may die, she replied that, tell Lord Ram that, don't come back. You don't look good without Lakshman. Both of you together look good. So whatever happens, bring Lakshman back. So that was her message to Hanuman. So Kaikeyi, she represents action, karma. That these kinds of people, they are just action oriented or project oriented. They want to get their things done, no matter what has happened. So she was given a promise. She wanted at any cost that promise to be fulfilled, no matter it may result in the death of her husband or Lord Ram being exiled. But their main goal is that their, what they think or what they want to do has to be achieved. They are like road rollers or bulldozers. Whoever comes in their way, they just roll them over and get their things done. So we can, but all of them actually loved Lord Ram. So even in devotee circles, we may find that different people have their different mentalities. Someone may be more philosophically oriented, someone may be more emotional, someone may be just action oriented. But what we should mainly see is that actually that they are keen to serve the Lord. Service to the Lord and surrender to the Lord is the prime most important thing. So Kaikeyi was like, for her, what you do is also important, not just the intention. Her way of thinking is different. For her, actions mean more than the intentions. So when Lord Ram, he was banished or voluntarily was going to the forest, he was on the chariot and being driven by Sumatra. So Dasharatha Maharaj, he was in a very pitiable state. He was crying, he was trying to run behind the chariot. So it is said that Lord Ram told only one line in his own lifetime, or asked someone to do it. So whether moving on the chariot, Dasharatha Maharaj, he was coming behind, running behind. He was telling Sumandra, stop the chariot. Don't take Lord Ram. So Lord Ram could hear it, and Sumandra also could hear that instruction. Dasharatha Maharaj was the king. So you have to obey the instruction of the king, right? So Lord Ram told Sumandra, just act it as if you haven't heard. Just go ahead. So that was the only time Lord Ram probably told her, must have told her like, otherwise it's unlikely to tell her. So Lord Ram actually cared for the emotions of the citizens also. Like when we were going on the chariot, after a certain time, the elderly brahmanas, they couldn't follow, and they were trying to run behind. But they said that Lord Ram got down, got down on the chariot, and then he started walking. So then others also walk till the time they could. So yeah, so each one of us may have different kind of mentality, but we should actually see how we can actually best engage our total our skills in the service. So when Hanumanji, went to find Sita, so one of the parties led by Hanumanji reached Sri Lanka, and then Hanumanji actually found Mother Sita by looking at her characteristics. He could make that she is Mother Sita, and then he meets her and then gives her a proposal that I am sufficient enough to take you back. And Mother Sita knows that he has been sent by Lord Ram. She is also convinced that he is a messenger. So Hanumanji tells her that why don't you get on my back, and then I will take you back to Lord Ram. So that was the best proposal. No war, nothing. Just play on the back of Hanumanji, and you are back with Lord Ram. But Mother Sita doesn't agree. So she gives few reasons, why Hanumanji was very emotional at that time. He is also like action oriented. Just things, this can be done. I'll do it. So Mother Sita says that when you are crossing the ocean, there are many demons or demons coming in and faced few obstacles, right? So how will you fight? When I am on your back, you will not be able to fight when on your back. And the second reason she says that, what if you fall in the ocean? If I become heavy, you fall in the ocean and both of us will die. And the third reason she says that you are a Parapurush. You are not my husband, my father or So how can I touch you? I cannot touch any other Parapurush. So she gives these three reasons why she cannot come back. So Hanumanji was also very analytical, he gives his reasons, encountering these Mother Sita's arguments. So when she said that, how will you fight with the devil? So then Hanumanji shows his actual form, or expands his form, as big as he can. He says that, I can fight with any devil. It's not an issue. So he tries to convince her, with showing his power, skill. And second thing he says that, she said that, if you fall in the ocean, she says, Hanumanji says, replies to that saying that, you are the doctor of Samudra, like during the milk ocean, during the journey, Lakshmi was born, right? So you are the daughter of the ocean. So, the Samudra Devi will protect us. So don't worry about it. And for the third reason, like you are Parupurish, she says that, Hanumanji says that I am just like your son. So don't worry about it. You can can be carried on my back. So, hearing Hanumanji's replies, Mother Sita again she counteracts with more reasons. This is like argument going back and forth. So she says that, the first thing she says that I am kidnapped by the Parapurush or Ravana. And if it is the duty of the husband is to protect the wife. And Lord Ram is very capable to do it. If he doesn't do, and if someone else does it, then it actually is defaming by the husband itself. So if you take me, then what will Lord Ram do? All the time in Ramayana, it's like Lord Ram couldn't protect, Hanumanji protected, Mother Sita. Right? So she gives this reason that it's the duty of my husband to protect me. Even if he is not able to come, I will die. So that was her conviction. And second thing she says that when she comes, actually she sees that there are so many other wives of the demigods actually who are actually kidnapped by Ravana. Ravana he defeated many demigods and many kings, kidnapped all the wives and he locked them actually in his palace. Hanumanji also sees them when comes to search for Mother Sita. So Mother Sita says that I had promised all these queens, the wives of the demigods, when I will be freed by Lord Ram, I will also free all of you and you can rejoin your husbands. So if I go back alone, what will happen to all these queens, other queens? They are like around here. So she gives this reason, why not to be carried back again. And the third reason she gives is that the Lord has come with a mission. Every avatar, when he has come with a mission, one of the mission of the Lord is Paritranaya Sadhanam and Vinashaya Charismita. So Ravana was troublemaker. He was a burden on Mother Earth. So Lord Ram has come actually to kill these demons. So if you take my dad, then the mission is not fulfilled. So Lord Ram, along with taking back Mother Sita, his mission was also to actually kill Ravana and lessen the burden of Mother Earth. So Mother Sita, she gives these three reasons that I have to be protected by my husband. I have to save the other wives of the demigods also. And it is the duty of, or it was the promise of the Lord, to protect the devotees and neglect the miscreants. So that's why the Lord comes in every yuga, to fulfill His promise. More important than killing the demons, the Lord can send anyone who is empowered devotees actually to do that. But more importantly, He comes to perform His beautiful pastimes. Lord Ram is Leela Avatar. So He comes actually to perform His beautiful pastimes, so that actually we can relish those pastimes and by hearing those pastimes, actually we can immerse ourselves in always remembering and thinking of the Lord. So that's the main reason that the Lord comes and sends devotees also from time to time to keep reminding us the mission of our life. So on this day of holy day of Lord Ram, let's pray to Lord Ram that we can continue to remember Him while we do our activities. And,
So what is the judging capacity like? Like we know from the timer and meditation. So why do they judging tendency? Like what generally we say that material world is the so what is the quality, the pure quality from judging what
So the root cause actually we want to be the center of attraction of everything that we do. So I want to be recognized for what I do. Sometimes we want to take the credit for even what others do. Right? So taking actually basically what we are trying to do, we are trying to take the position of Krishna. Krishna is supposed to be in the center, and he is supposed to be the one who gets all the recognition, name, fame. But we want to be in that position of Krishna, right? So when that is hampered, like then we try to find ways how we can achieve that. Maybe when fault finding with others, putting down others, trying to show how I am better than others. So when we actually put the tendency that I am here to put Krishna as the center of my life, not me. So then you can try to overcome. In the spiritual world, Krishna is the center of everyone. Devotees are attractive. Michael Mehdi said that everyone has a form of knowledge, right? And everyone also looks very beautiful, right? And then in some past when Vishnu does appear, he said that they look as if they are Vishnu himself. So they're as beautiful as the Lord. The Lord is so benevolent that he gives that form by which they look as attractive as himself. So the Lord is so benevolent in sharing his openness with everyone. But we want to be, but when we want to take that position, that I want to be the center, then we are centered this world where we can try to imitate that position. So that is the root cause that trying to imitate Krishna and taking his position. So we have to be careful always how we can. Whatever we do, we put Krishna and the devotees in the center of our life. Not trying to gain recognition. All this recognition and everything is short term. Name, fame. Today you are recognized, tomorrow you may not see. But the service done for Lord Krishna, he remembers forever. So we should try to be recognized by the Lord. It's not in the sense that we do things to him, but in a way that are pleasing to the Lord, so that he recognizes us.
Thank you for the class. I got one doubt. Like you told Gyan, Karma, and Bhakti, all of three we should have. We can understand about Bhakti, but Gyan and Karma, is it like Gyan related to Bhakti and Karma related to Bhakti, or is it like because otherwise speculative knowledge and motive activity is one?
So if you see Prabhupada, the purpose of Prabhupada, whether Jnana comes or Karma comes, actually he includes Bhakti there. So for us, everything is Bhakti. We study the scriptures, so that we can understand how we can do our devotional service better. At the same time, we are doing our services, just so that how we can perform our, because they are contained in our Bhakti. So yeah, all three are important, but the main goal is Bhakti. So even it is said that Jnana, ultimately we have to leave Jnana also. Jnana actually is a medium to helping Bhakti, but we have to at a certain time we have to leave that Jnana also. Only Bhakti is the focus.
And Karma is also. Karma related to Bhakti.
Karma is a full seva. Seva you never leave. Jnana in the sense that if you understand how Brajvasis they deal with Krishna, if you see the pastimes of Vrindavan, how the friends of Lord Krishna they deal with it. They don't have an understanding of Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Yes, they are covered by so their jnana or their understanding is of the Lord Supreme is not there. So when we completely want to fully serve the Lord in that Vatsalya Bhav or Sakya Bhav, when this jnana comes in between, it will happen that their relationship. So that's why it is said that even jnana at certain stage, no, when we actually fully attaining prema for the Lord, even jnana is actually not required. So that the Lord will take care. When the time comes, He will put us in the good Maya. So yes, jnana and vairagya are needed actually till the time we are in the process of bhakti, till the time we are being purified. We need to have jnana and vairagya. Then only actually we can progress on the path. But once we achieve perfection and we are in the spiritual world with the Lord, like these things, jnana is not required. Vairagya is like whatever is needed for the service of the Lord, we are ready to do it. We are not attached to the things, we are just attached to the service. So for Vaishvas, it doesn't matter whether Krishna is the king or the Supreme Lord, nothing matters. They just love Krishna and they are ready to do whatever is required to please him.
Often, people ask this question that why not on Ganesh? And one critical question like how he killed, why did he kill Bali?
There is more deeper understandings of like Maya Sita. People may just externally know some aspects of Ramayana and then try to judge Lord Ram. As we were discussing, fault finding is a tendency of the living in it. That's why we are here. Actually. One of the defects to find faults. So Lord Ram is a perfect, most ideal character that we can see, but still a little black spot, and then you try to make it magnify. So that is the tendency of all the living entities. So even people will find faults with Lord Krishna, what he did, or any avatar, or even pure devotee. There are always people that provide pure devotee, perfect gentleman, but still there are people against him at that time. So it is the tendency and nature of the material world to find faults and pull you down. But yeah, as devotee, when we have the correct understanding, we can try to answer to some extent, but we should not be expecting that everyone will be satisfied with the answers that we give. Because that deep-rooted tendency is there actually to find fault, not to get the answers, but to find fault and pull someone down. So we have to do our bit. We can pray for this one. So probably as mentioning like briefly, I can speak about a few minutes, and I don't know whether you must have heard about. How many of you have heard about Golden Villages? Okay. So it's a farm community that we have set up near Bombay. It's about 100 kilometers from Bombay. If you see the 7 purposes of ISKCON, one of the purposes that Prabhupada wanted was actually to establish holy places, which actually make people remember and Lord Krishna, and not just in Vrindavan or Mayapur, but elsewhere. So when Prabhupada actually went to US, and he started his mission. So he established the first farm community in, I think in late 1960s itself, I think 69 or something like that. So he termed it as New Vrindavan, West Virginia. So Vrindavan away from India, in the US, New Vrindavan. So that was a new concept, but Prabhupada had that vision in mind. And not everyone can actually have the time or the energy or willingness to actually come to Vrindavan and see the holy places. So a replica of Vrindavan, so that people can actually easy for us people to access. So Prabhupada's purpose, one of the 7 purposes was actually to establish holy places all around the world. So in Germany, we have New in Australia, we have New Govardhan. So there are many such farm communities around the world. So near Bombay, we try to establish Govardhan village based on these principles only. So one of the main highlights of that is actually Vrindavan forest. It's a replica of Vrindavan. All the main Leela studies of the Lord, they are replicated there in the form of dioramas and the 7 main temples of Vrindavan, Madan Mohan, Radha Govind, Radha Gopinath, Radha Govindji. So all these temples, if you have seen, you have gone to Vrindavan, the exact same replicas of those are there in Govardhan village. So there are almost like 90 places, 90 spots related to the pastimes of the Lord. And there are thousands of people who actually come to see, witness this. And this last year, we had almost like 7.5 lakh visitors coming. So mainly they are attracted by the beauty of the Vrindavan forest. And then we take advantage actually to explain the pastimes of the Lord. And then they are given a tour of the whole pastimes. We are like we have a tour of 1.5 to 2 hours. Where we take groups of people, around this Vrindavan forest, and then they get an understanding of like before coming to Krishna consciousness, you may not have heard much about the pastimes. So same with all these people. At least they know something about Lord Krishna and his pastime. And then we try to connect them through some online classes, and then try to bring them who are interested into Krishna consciousness. So yeah. So this is one aspect of the eco village, and other than that, we have sustainability, which is a very important component. How actually we can showcase Vedic ecology principles from our own scriptures and our ancestors. How they used to they live their lives based on sustainable principles. So showcasing that as a model. So we have beautiful cottages, all built with eco-friendly materials, like CSCB blocks, which are made from mud and clay, and we have our own waste processing. If you see a village, it's all mostly as you see, as the Lord says in Ishwa, the first was Isha Masham and every unit that the Lord has created is self-sufficient in itself. So if you see the whole universe, it doesn't really require anything from outside. It is self-sufficient. So similarly, even if you see in a village, nowadays because of globalization or commercialization of things. You may feel that we have to be dependent on so many other things, but actually, if you see, villages mostly can work independently. So at this Golden Village, we try to demonstrate that also. Like water waste, we try to be self-sufficient in all the things. We are still trying in terms of food waste, energy. So waste, we process entirely within the campus. Nothing goes out, except pet bottles which are recycled outside. But most of the things, the water, we recycle. All the wastewater which is generated there, we recycle it and use it in agriculture or in landscaping. And we have a huge reservoir of water in ponds. So we have water sufficient, like self-sufficient in water. And in energy, we have solar plants. Yeah, of course, because we've got some government regulations, we can't increase that, but mostly like 50 to 60% of our needs are met by solar energy, and we have biogas plants also, from where we get gas which is used for cooking, and all the waste that is generated, like food waste, is converted into compost, and we have a goshala, 100 cows are there. The cow dung is again converted into compost. Agriculture is waste is there, it is also converted into compost. We also have two other animals also. We have peacocks, we have donkeys, we have sheep, goats, and horse. Many Westerners come during the winter season trying to understand what is the Vedic lifestyle. To make a Westerner understand what Indian culture is and Indian lifestyle is, just by speaking, they may not be able to relate. So that's why many devotees who are teaching in the West, they try to bring yoga groups actually. Yoga is nowadays a fad, so many devotees preach through yoga groups, yoga centers. So they bring once in a year these groups to go to the village and try to showcase them how to live a simple life based on Vedic. And yeah, and then we also have many rural development activities. We cater to the cultural needs also, and also the socio-economic needs. And we do a lot of training on organic farming to the villagers. We train the women in some of the skills by which they can be independent, in their own livelihood. And we have a skill center, skill center, almost 70,000 square foot, where yearly we train on more than 100 students in various kinds of vocational skills. And we have a healthcare system where we do medical camps. We have 4 medical centers around the region, where and many medical vans. And they do free medical camps for the villagers. And yeah, many other activities, rural development activities we do. And while we help them socially, economically, we also use them spirituality also. So we have programs going on in more than 100 villages every week. And this and culturally also we try to give them like very culture, and socially and economical also we try to mention. So we have received several awards, for the activities that we are doing, by state, central, and also globally. We received United Nations World Tourism Organization Award, first NGO to get that in India. So we are awarded for rural tourism as an activist for how we are empowering the villagers. through our social initiatives. Also, we are accredited to many United Nations organizations like United Nations Environmental Program and United Nations Council to Combat Deforestation and the United Nations Council for Social and Economic Council. So we are accredited to many United Nations organizations and have been awarded by many central and state governments. And many people are interested in replicating this model elsewhere. There are some eco villages which are completely completely eco-friendly, you can say, where they don't even have electricity. They are not even dependent on electricity. Like we have one in Belgaum, where they don't have electricity also. But hardly any people visit there because people want good facilities also. So we have a blend of both Vedic and modern techniques that we use to attract people. More important is to teach. By whatever means, you can attract people and reach. That is more important. So we have set up this model, and all of you are most welcome to visit anytime. We also have an internship program, where we invite students during their summers to come and do internship for 2 months in our sustainability department. Every year we get we have some time with the universities, so some students from abroad also they come. Because sustainability is a thing which everyone is interested right now. If you see management courses also, sustainable management is a part of every management course. So many management students also come to do their internships. So all of you are most welcome. And you are in your association, and also if you can contribute something. I was here yesterday to present the same model, and some of the professors are interested in working with us. Because technically we are not so sound. We tied with the institute like IIT actually gives a lot of leverage when you present things to the scientific community. So we have to encourage with IIT Kanpur. Thank you very much for the patiently hearing, and please forgive if I have spoken anything which is not up to my level of understanding knowledge. Thank you very much.
He also presented, formally presented about few professors and many students were there about this sustainability program. And also, Prabhuji also will be meeting many professors today. And today, and one of the quality I said here and today also Prabhuji is extremely humble. And one thing just I want to mention also, yesterday all of you were not there, and Prabhuji was presenting the sustainability thing, and you know that professors are IIT Kanpur professors, and some of them quite arrogant. Currently, they were speaking, and Prabhuji didn't mind, he just continued his presentation. So, this is an exceptional quality and devotee actor humility. So, let us chant 3 times Haribo to Prabhuji. Haribo. And we'll request Prabhuji signing this MOU. Prabhuji probably will be sometime visiting us again in IIT Kanpur, and we'll hear. And also, secondly, if there is any scope of internship, spiritual internship, some academic internship, the sustainability is a scientific as well as that place is also spiritual. So I'll talk with Prabhuji about that scope also. Thank you, sir.
We also have volunteering program. what they attract people is they have to volunteer. We have a program also like 2 weeks minimum volunteering program and like 6 hours a day you have to do some service. So through that volunteering program, I take care of that also. We are having people through that also. People may not be directly interested in spirituality, but many people like to do some service. So, everyone has some issue in life, some psychological or emotional issues. So they want to take a break and all that. We try to attract those people also and then give them a spiritual understanding also at the same time. So they stay in a temple atmosphere. They get to understand philosophy also. We try to meet devotees and learn from them and see their way we also change. So this volunteering program is also for 2 weeks. Anyone wants to come? Volunteers. So like someone is based on the skill. Someone is skilled. We try to engage them in social media or sustainability aspect. Someone is unskilled, may not have the skills as per our requirement. Engage them in like in our kitchen and serving rural development activities, in Goshala and some other activities in gardening. So many foreigners are interested in these things. So many foreigners come actually to India to engage in voluntary work. So many of the other organizations they are happy to these people. So we also started. So we also receive few foreigners also. So, yeah, we have this opportunity, so you can take advantage. You can even remind your friends or anyone who you may feel that they will be interested in doing some service or they have time, and they can come and do some volunteer work. Thank you.
Jai. 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 इसमें नहीं Govinda Hari Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Renukananda Madhavinda Dharanacha Varnavatam Samasritam Buddha Sundaranga Gandharvakoti Kamaniya Vishesa Subha Govinda Hari Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Mangaliyasya Sakale Kriya Preti Bhakti Prashanti Bhakti Kalyani Shiranyagandi Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jara Vikrahasya Govinda Hari Purusha Tamam Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha Tamam Bhajami Govinda Hari Purusha Tamam Bhajami Jai Jai Shri Ram. Jai Jai Shri Gopinath Balgopal Bhavan ki Jai. Radha Krishna Chandra Bhavan ki Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Sudarshan Bhavan ki Jai. Jai Shri Lakshmana Bhavan ki Jai. Shri Shri Ram Lakshmana Sita Hanuman ji ki Jai. Ram Navami Mहोत्सव की जय. श्री राम सीता भगवान की जय. श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. जय गौर प्रेमानंद की
अंदर ही ले जाना है करना है यहाँ पे तो
Bye.